The soft murmur of conversations and the gentle clink of fine crystal filled the lavish dining room of the Redwood Crest, one of the most exclusive restaurants in Santa Monica. The evening was steeped in elegance, patrons adorned in designer suits and evening gowns, expensive watches glinting under the glow of ornate chandeliers, and the delicate aroma of freshly baked sourdough weaving through the air. It was the kind of place where appearances weren't just valued, they were currency. Through the grand glass doors walked Marcus Taylor, a 40-year-old tech mogul who had just closed a groundbreaking multi-million-dollar merger earlier that afternoon. Dressed in well-worn dark jeans, a simple charcoal gray polo, and a pair of sneakers that had clearly seen better days, Marcus hardly fit the stereotypical image of the Crest clientele. But tonight wasn't about appearances. He wasn't here to network or rub shoulders with Santa Monica's elite. This evening was about celebrating quietly, a moment of personal victory with a perfectly cooked steak. Marcus glanced around the pristine dining room, tables draped in crisp white linens, candles flickering softly, the faint hum of a grand piano playing in the background. He adjusted his modest watch, far from the glitzy brands flashed by other diners, and approached the hostess stand with a polite smile. The hostess, a young woman with sleek hair pinned back in a perfect twist, returned his smile warmly. "Good evening, sir. Do you have a reservation?" "Marcus Taylor," he replied. She scanned a list and nodded. "Of course, Mr. Taylor. Right this way." She led him to a window-side table, one of the prime spots in the restaurant, offering a sweeping view of the glowing cityscape. Marcus sank into the leather seat, grateful for the quiet, when a shadow stretched across the table. "Good evening," came a clipped voice. Marcus looked up to see a tall waiter in a pristine white shirt, black vest, and bow tie. His name tag read Eric. There was something in his sharp tone, a tightness around the eyes, a forced smile, that made Marcus sit up a little straighter. "Can I get you started with water?" Eric asked, his voice cool and slightly dismissive. "Sure, still water, please," Marcus answered, his tone casual. Eric nodded curtly and walked away without another word. Marcus noticed the flicker of disdain in Eric's expression, a small but telling detail. He'd spent years in rooms where he was the only black man at the table, reading microaggressions as easily as he read contracts. Still, he brushed it off. Tonight wasn't about that. It was about the food. But as Eric returned with the water, his attitude didn't soften. He placed the glass down with a thud, droplets splashing onto the tablecloth. "Ready to order?" Eric asked, the words clipped. "Not yet. A few more minutes, please," Marcus replied, maintaining his calm. Eric's fake smile twisted tighter. "Take your time," he said, the sarcasm unmistakable before he strode off again. Marcus sighed, glancing around the room. Eric was all charm at other tables, grinning at a young couple celebrating an anniversary, laughing with a table of businessmen. But when he returned to Marcus's table, the energy shifted again. "I'll have the ribeye," Marcus ordered when Eric finally reappeared. "Medium rare, with garlic mash." Eric barely made eye contact as he jotted down the order. "Anything else?" "A glass of your house red." A slight sigh escaped Eric before he turned on his heel. The dinner was quickly becoming more about tolerance than celebration. By the time the breadbasket arrived, haphazardly tossed onto the table, nearly knocking over the water glass, Marcus's patience was wearing thin. He wasn't a stranger to these moments, but they never failed to sting. "Is everything all right, sir?" a soft voice asked. Marcus turned to see the hostess again, her brow creased with concern. "I'm fine, thank you," he replied, forcing a small smile. But he wasn't fine. Not really. The couple at the next table exchanged sympathetic glances, the older woman giving Marcus a subtle nod, as if silently acknowledging what was happening. When the steak arrived, slammed onto the table with the kind of force that suggested Eric had long run out of pretense, Marcus's resolve finally wavered. A splash of red wine from a careless pour stained the tablecloth. "Excuse me," Marcus called out as Eric breezed by. Eric stopped, his annoyance poorly hidden. "Yes." "There's wine on the tablecloth," Marcus said calmly. "Could I get a napkin?" Eric barely glanced at the stain. It's just a little spill. I'll send someone. But not you. I'm busy, Eric replied before vanishing. The tension in the air was thick now. Other diners had noticed, some awkwardly avoiding eye contact, others blatantly watching the exchange. Marcus tapped his phone under the table and sent a quick message. You wouldn't believe the service I'm getting here tonight. The reply was swift. I'm 10 minutes away. Don't leave. Marcus smiled faintly. Maybe this night was about to take a turn. When Eric returned with the check after Marcus had finished his steak, the server slipped the black folder onto the table without a word. Inside, beneath the printed receipt, was a handwritten note. Dress code is business casual. Just FYI. Marcus's chest tightened. He read the note twice. A third time, the room seemed to fall into silence. Before Marcus could speak, a booming voice cut through the heavy air. Marcus Taylor, I didn't know you were dining here tonight. Every head in the restaurant turned as a tall man in a tailored suit strode in. His face lit up with a wide smile. It was Victor Reynolds, the owner of the Redwood Crest. Victor crossed the room in long strides, pulling Marcus into a warm embrace. You should have called me. I would have reserved the whole damn restaurant for you. Marcus chuckled, the tension beginning to unravel. Didn't want to make a fuss, Vic. Just wanted a good steak. Victor's smile faltered slightly as he looked at the table, at the wine-stained cloth, the nearly empty glass. This doesn't look right. Who's been serving you? Marcus flicked his eyes toward Eric. Victor's head whipped around. Eric, is it? You've been serving my guest tonight. Eric's face had gone ghost white. Yes, sir, he mumbled. And you had no idea who he was? Eric swallowed hard. No, sir. Victor's jaw tensed. This man is Marcus Taylor, founder of Taylor Innovations. He's one of the reasons half the businesses in this city run as smoothly as they do. And he's also a personal friend. The whispers among the patrons grew louder. Marcus cleared his throat gently. Victor, it's not about me being your friend. It's about how I was treated the moment I walked in here. That's the real issue. Victor's face darkened as he turned back to Eric. You're dismissed for the night. We'll talk tomorrow, if you're even coming back. Eric didn't argue. Head low, he slinked into the back. Victor turned back to Marcus, his expression heavy with regret. I'm so sorry, man. This is not what the Crest is about. Marcus nodded. I believe you, but it's not about me. It's about making sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. Victor's jaw clenched. You're right. I'll fix this. I promise. As the room returned to its hum of conversation, now punctuated with new, hushed discussions, Marcus stood to leave. A few diners nodded in respect as he passed. The older woman from the neighboring table stopped him gently. You handled that with more grace than most would, she said softly. Marcus smiled. Thank you. Sometimes that's all we can do. Stepping into the cool night air, Marcus felt the weight of the evening ease from his shoulders. Victor joined him outside. You made me see something tonight I've ignored for too long, Victor admitted. Then that's a win, Marcus replied, extending his hand. As Victor disappeared back inside, Marcus sent one more text. Didn't get the peaceful dinner I wanted, but maybe I got something better. The reply came instantly. Proud of you, bro. Drinks on me tomorrow. Marcus smiled, pocketed his phone, and walked into the night.